I'm sure if you're a Celtics fan watching this, you are hyped up and you're ready for next season. But some Celtics fans are down. Like we've talked about this. What's some advice that you have to give out there to Celtics fans that everything's going to be okay and like the Celtics are going to be back on the top? Obviously, we talked about it with a Halliburton injury and Tatum going down with this. We talked about that. What's some motivation to either encourage Celtics fans come on here and tell their stories, or to encourage Celtics fans that don't lose hope? We're going to be back at the top and win some championships once again.
We are Celtics fans, Celtic Nation. We don't fold, we build up. It's gangrene. Everybody's going to be fine. Guess what? JT, he's injured. He's coming back from his injury. We're going to be rocking and rolling. JB's going to be rocking and rolling. We got the best management staff in the whole NBA. We got Brad Stevens at the top. We got everybody rocking. The fan base needs to be turned up because guess what? Celtic Nation, the players, they go off of us. If we're sad, they're sad. If we're down, they're down. So guess what? Get your head out of your asses. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy Hull. Enjoy Gloucester. Enjoy the beaches. Do your thing. And guess what? Let's get prepped for October. Because we are coming back with a vengeance. This was supposed to be a back-to-back year. We messed that up, but guess what? That's because of injuries, and now we got a fresh slate next year. My advice right now is for everybody. Gangrene, Boston, Mass, New England, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut. Get your heads out of your asses and bleed green, because guess what? We're bringing another parade back to Boston. That's what I got to say.
I got hyped up during that. I think that was the best energy we've had on this spot. You're at the top right now. If that doesn't get you hyped up, I don't know what else will. What do you think, Seamus?
Okay, you guys have no idea how much restraint I'm emitting right now to just sit here on camera and not go crazy with that same energy right there, because you're naming out all the different places. I'm sitting here thinking, man, don't forget about St. Louis, Missouri here too. Don't forget about Missouri and the east side on the Illinois side of the river. Don't forget about us over here, because got some fans for Celtics Nation out in the country in the Midwest as well. We got the JT connection. I'm not even a JT connection. I'm just I'm a Rondo connection. That's where I come from. But oh my goodness, that was maybe one of the best. That was one of the best responses I think we've ever had on Celtics Talk Weekly before. The entirety of Celtics Talk Weekly history, I don't think anything tops that. That was absolutely amazing.
Celtics
I mean,
Nation
Griffin, I wasn't in. I'm gonna be completely truthful. That last question of yours, Griffin, I'm not always in on, because some people don't know how to respond to that, right? They don't know how to give advice to fans who are down because they're actually themselves down. So it's like, how do you give? How do you pull yourself and everybody else out of the same hole? But that right there, that response. Oh my goodness. I mean, that was,
got me
I'm
fired
sorry.
up.
That was top five. That was top one. That was, I mean, I'm almost right now, I'm sitting here in my seat. I'm like, man, I know, JT's gone next year. And from a logical standpoint, I'm like, we're probably not, like, I don't 2026. Like, I don't know what next playoff run's going to look like in the regular season, the East. I don't know, but it's like, man, I just, the spirit, I feel like, is going to be like, that's something that we forget about sometimes. I shouldn't say we're definitely not forgetting about it here on this program today, but sometimes out there, that Celtic Nation is just different. Boston is different. That TD Garden is just different from everywhere. I mean, we saw a great example of it last night in Oklahoma City. It just wasn't the same. They didn't take the same journey. They don't have the same rabid fan base as Boston. Yep. Pull up the photos yet again. And that's just a huge strength of the Celtics and every Boston sports team, is the fact they have such a hardcore fan base, such a passionate, spiritual fan base behind them. And I like what you said about Jaylen Brown earlier is, Jaylen Brown, I feel like there are, it's analytical versus spiritual, right? It's the immeasurables versus the measurables. We might think, oh, well, analytically over here, logically over here, this makes sense. But then we forget about it from a spiritual perspective and the whole immeasurable perspective of how humans interact with each other. And the Celtics and the entire Boston sports fan base, sports teams, right? All the Boston sports teams, they have the fan base behind them. They have that spirit behind them. They have that passion behind them. And that's just a little extra when you're going out there and competing. When you have that behind you, that's just, you're going to have a little bit extra every single time. So the fact the Celtics don't have Jason Tatum next year and people think, well, they're not going to compete. I think next season, I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to win the title or not, but the Celtics, they never fail to achieve an outcome better than expected. Almost every single time. It feels like the Celtics actually, when the outcome is expected to be, up here, that's when they're actually failing. But when the expectations are down here, they're always up here. And I feel like the fan base and everybody involved, they have a lot to do with that. It's the spiritual uplifting, right? The city doesn't really give up on the team. It's just other cities, a team becomes irrelevant, and all of a sudden, oh, they fall off the end of the earth, they fall off the map, and people don't pay attention to them. That's the Boston sports scene. The fan base demands greatness. After this century, I mean, they demand greatness. And everybody who comes into the building, whether it's the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots, the Revolution, let's throw them out there, they're expected to win. And they understand the standard that they're expected to win. And that comes from the fan base. That obviously comes from all the organizations, but it's just a little extra that I feel like other cities, other organizations out there across America, across the world, just don't quite have the same way Boston does. And that was a great example right there. 100% at the end of this program.